All right, so here's my finished design. I've drawn them with Sharpie, which is a permanent marker. It's not going to change when it gets wet. And I'm going to do something that my students should be very familiar with. I have a crayon, which is made from wax, which will recreate a wax resist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press pretty hard, and I'm just going to go like this over each of my dandelions. And I'm just kind of doing a spiral. Like I said, I can actually see kind of crumbles of the wax coming out because I pressed pretty hard there. I'm going to do that with each one of these. I'm not worried about getting a solid shape, but I do want a nice dark line, if you can make dark with a white crayon. But I think my students will know what I'm talking about here. What I'm trying to do is get a nice coating of wax on here. I can see one of my cats sneaking up, so let's hope he doesn't jump up on the table, because my cats love to jump on my table while I'm drawing, especially if I'm trying to make a video. All right, I'm going to brush off the little extra little crumbs of wax that I created there. I can kind of see them over my black lines, but I like it. It's looking good. And what's going to happen is I've got my, I might even make a couple like little stray marks up here. I don't know, something silly. Ooh, must have had something on my crayon there, but that is not going to bother me at all. I'm going to roll with that. So I have my wax on there, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some water. Oops, I had some paint on my brush already, so my water's already blue. I'm going to make sure I'm using a lot of water. I want this to flow. And you're going to see this is where the resist comes in, and paint right over, and you can see it rolling right off the places where my crayon is, and you can see the little marks I made there. The reason why I want a lot of water is so I don't get these brush marks. I want to kind of make this smooth. I'm trying to avoid these rough edges. So if I do the water first, it kind of gives me this nice even coating of water. Then when I add the paint, it kind of spreads evenly, and I don't get brush strokes. So I'm going to get a nice even blue. If I go like this and get the paint and do the paint without the water, I tend to really see my brush strokes, like in here. I'm going to soften that up with a little bit more water. And again, you can see, oh, here comes my cat. He's sneaking up here. See if I can finish my video before he makes an appearance. He's thinking about it. He's actually on the desk. Oh, there's his shadow. Sparky, are you going to say hello to my students? He's rubbing his chin on the camera. And there he is. You know, cats really love to get on videos. And I think actually you can see what I'm doing. I don't think he's actually figured out how to block the camera yet. That'll come later, I'm sure. All right, so I'm kind of creating. I've got my nice white. You can hear me hitting my brush on my water cup. So there's my nice crayon resist. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint this. And then I have to admit, just having the plain blue is a little bit too plain for me. It's a little too boring. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to keep adding the water so that I can blend. And I might add a couple more colors. I want to make sure that I have enough water so it's going to roll off that wax. So if I don't have enough water, I can cover that up if the paint's thick enough. So I'm adding water, and then what I might do is just pick up a darker blue or a purple, kind of blend a little bit of that in around the edges or something, just to make this a little bit more interesting. I feel like it's a little plain right now. So I'm adding lots of water so I can just transition that right in. And I'm going to stop because I know I'm going to be interrupted in just a moment. So this is my example of what we're kind of doing here with my variations on a theme of my dandelions. A lot of line variety, a little bit of pattern, and then a crayon resist so we get our nice dandelion fluff. And some color in the background. And only one small appearance by a cat. And I'll make sure I bring this finished one into school with me so you can see it firsthand, how it looks when it's dry. Just going to add a little bit more of my watercolors. There it is, and I'm going to just do this real quick before I pin